and not doing the right thing. For instance, they've taken HST off gas at the pump, which Green Party people wouldn't do. We'd raise the price of gas. And they're taxing bicycles and energy efficient products and health services, things that make us healthy. But ours is a nuanced position because we do support value-added taxes. We know they work. They work in Europe all the time. That's why you have wind farms in Germany and solar arrays in Germany, because they use value-added taxes. And so we can't be hypocritical, I don't believe, as a party, and support an initiative that is contrary to our philosophy of how taxation should occur. And so I know that there will be Greens out there campaigning against HST, and I'm fine with that. But the party will not be supporting the initiative because we believe in taxes. And I think we're probably the only party that hasn't made an enemy of taxation. The other part of this initiative is that, I don't know if you know, but California is a place where they have initiatives all the time, and where they have to go to the people in order to get taxes raised. And as a result of that, they don't have enough money, and they're cutting back on their public services, particularly public education. And so that's the downside of this kind of a philosophy that taxes are bad, is that it leaves us in the position of not being able to defend what we believe in, which is that if you want services, you have to have income, and the way you get income is through taxation. And so we don't believe taxes are bad, and actually when they do polls of people saying, what do you think about taxation? People say, I'm glad to pay taxes as long as I know that they're being used for the right purpose. So we are not participating, but if you feel the need to participate, it's a Green philosophy that diversity is a good thing. So we are facing a perfect storm of issues. I'll answer questions at the end if that's okay. Climate change is only one of those. Peak oil is another. We've got a situation where there's peak everything else. Gas, water, grain, almost everything, soil. We have social inequity and poverty at an astounding rate. And we have a breakdown in community and our community structures. We've created a very efficient economy that is based on a false premise. And it's one that's destroying the very life support systems of our planet. And that's the premise, that we can grow indefinitely and that we can do so by using up our non-renewable resources through consumption and treating our renewable resources as if, or using them up at such a rate that they become non-renewable. 60% of our economy is based on consumption, and that means that if we stop buying stuff, our economy has to be based on a different structure. That sends governments around the world into terror, and so you get that kind of schizophrenic moment where we get into a recession and the government on the one hand says we carry too much debt, and on the other hand they say go back out and shop. And it depletes our resources, it creates pollution, and we end up throwing most of it away. Most stuff that's bought is thrown away within 6 months. 90% ends up in our landfill. So not purchasing what we don't need and purchasing durable goods that last is a healthier choice for the planet. And I believe that our trade agreements force us into a method of consumption. They destroy businesses in the local economy, they send jobs elsewhere, and we become a consumer-based, retail-based economy, one that's based in too many lattes and too few machinists. And the Green Party, as Andy talked about, proposes a no-growth alternative called a steady-state economy. And no growth isn't a place to be feared. It's a place to be celebrated, because what it does is it recreates those economies where we have the interdependencies amongst people. It's based in regional, self-sufficient economies where goods and services are exchanged locally, where we add value to our resources and we use those resources locally, where we generate and use our energy locally, and they will create lots of new jobs and lots of small businesses, and there will be a resurgence of the traditional industries that BC was built on. Agriculture in particular, we need to be back where 60% of the people are employed somehow in agriculture and food production. We need to recreate forestry on a better model, a different model. We need to recover our fisheries so that we have those traditional fields. And then we need to reinvest in the caring economy. I think paradoxically, or maybe by design, we have denigrated the parts of our society that are based in caring, our education system, our healthcare system. We've said that they are inefficient, that they have to live up to our standard of a business model. And that's a completely inappropriate way of measuring the goods, the social safety net, the social services